Does West Virginia's win over Oklahoma change Neal Brown's situation heading into Kansas State week? What does this mean for Shane Lyons? We'll get comfortable. Let's discuss what I think happened as a result of the Oklahoma win yesterday.
This is for Cameron.
Hey, what is up? Welcome in, guys. This is Mountaineer Paul, and welcome to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. Man, love having you guys here this morning. I'm recording early. I'm going to try to get this video out sometime this afternoon. Just something I want to touch on. Before we get started, do me a favor, guys. If you don't care, just move your finger a couple inches and like the video. I've been having trouble getting some likes here lately. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm not able to monetize this channel yet, but if you would like to donate to what I'm doing here, I put 30 to 40 hours a week into this thing. Certainly, I would appreciate that. And you can donate at a cash tag or Cash App at $R0CKEL85. And I'll try to put that down in the description box or somewhere. Maybe I'll pin it as a comment so that if you feel like helping out, that would be gratefully appreciated. I'd never usually ask. I haven't in 16 videos that I've made, but sometimes you got to swallow your pride. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of what happened yesterday. Huge win for the Mountaineers, beating Oklahoma for the first time since that Fiesta Bowl, and then on into the 80s before that. I don't know if a lot of people realize that we've actually beaten them twice before, but we have. Really proud of how the team played, and in spite of, in my opinion, Neal Brown trying to put JT Daniels back into the game, we won in spite of Neal Brown. I feel like Neal Brown has to be given credit for making the change as well in the first place. I'll give him that. But after the spark had been shown to tries to put JT back in, I don't know exactly why that is. Maybe you guys do, because I'm still scratching my head about it. So yesterday, before the Oklahoma game yesterday, Pete Thamel, on the biggest pregame football show there is, shows up and talks about Neal Brown, Shane Lyons, and the terminology that was used was in a state of flux. Now, for those of you that may not know exactly what that means, a state of flux just means it's constantly changing. So that means any variable could possibly change it for better or for worse. Neal Brown came into yesterday. I don't think many people gave us a chance to win that football game yesterday. Going into that, myself included, was not confident after the way we had played against Iowa State and in previous games before that. We had laid eggs just like that against Texas Tech, also against Texas. Showed up for Baylor and TCU. Just didn't know how this team was going to respond. They did, and I think the inclement weather had a lot to do with it. If we're playing in sunny weather, does Mims drop those balls? I don't know. Coos disagreed with me yesterday on this, and I understand where he's coming from. But if we were playing in sunnier weather, I don't know if that results the same, Similar to the Baylor game, it just gives me apprehension because I feel like we backed into that win as well. Their quarterback got hurt. These are all things that are part of football. I get that. But I just wish we could handle a game without anything like that happening. 4 quarters of football on the outside looking in, and from Neal Brown probably looks like he's gotten something in his favor today. But the way we're winning these games, I'm telling you, it just doesn't feel right to me. It's not like those convincing Rich Rod wins that we used to have, or even some of the wins with Dana that we had. I can think back to the way we beat Baylor when they were highly ranked, or in other games like that. The real question is, it's interesting how this was all worded on College GameDay. What it sounds like, the way it was put is, if Neal Brown is gone, Lyons is not going to be around to choose the successor. So which one is it? Which one's going to come first, and which one has to come first for the other one to happen? And do either one of them happen at all? I think those are all questions we can all conjecture and talk about. I'm interested to know what you guys think. If you don't mind, let me know down in the comments. Do you feel like we backed into a victory yesterday against Oklahoma, Or is that just football and these things happen and a win's a win? How do you feel? Like to know. Also, let me know, who do you blame? A few people personally that are they believe Shane Lyons is to blame for this entire fiasco. The 4 years of mediocrity, they think it's because of him and not Neal Brown, and that Neal Brown has had to work in these conditions that are less than ideal. So very interesting. My personal opinion on it is, yes, I think before Neal Brown is fired, I think they'll probably make a change with Shane Lyons, and then we're going to have a situation where it'll either be possibly Montoro or somebody like that as an interim AD kind of situation. Now we're behind the eight ball. This is all so late in the process, but I'm just trying to spell out how this could play out. A new athletic director is hired, and now you've got a lame duck head coach with an athletic director. Neither one of them wanted to be around each other to begin with, unless they go out and hire somebody that's worked with Neal Brown before. Now you've got an athletic director that has never worked with this head coach, didn't pick him, he's not his guy. Is Neal Brown going to be able to survive that situation? I don't know. And vice versa, if Neal Brown has gone first. Pete Thamel, one thing I know, and this is, per Mike Casasa and Chris Anderson yesterday, if Pete Thamel was reporting on this, it's close to the end. He doesn't usually get involved until something's about to happen. What did yesterday really do? And if you were that close to a decision, I don't care if you win 3 straight, does that change anything? And the Oklahoma win just put a wrench in all of it. I heard somebody say that it was bittersweet because we got the win, but does that mean that Neal Brown possibly gets another year? Then you've got people saying, no, it's Shane Lyons. But what I do know is we're really late in the process. And unfortunately, at West Virginia, one thing that's been proven to be true over time is we are the last to change, usually, when it comes to these kinds of situations. We didn't want to give Rich Rod facilities. We waited 15 years to do that. It's very frustrating as a fan and somebody that tries to cover this team accurately. Let me know, guys. What do you think about the Thamel report? Did that concern you? Did that surprise you? Were you expecting it? I'll be curious to know what you guys think about this. And if you haven't subscribed to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football, please hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be releasing another video probably today. Depends on how the Seahawks game goes. Going to get up early and watch some Geno. But we're going to be talking about a possible candidate. Are there some signs that point him towards Morgantown? Well, I don't know. We'll get into that. Still have some more research to do. Really appreciate you guys. I love you guys in Mountaineer Nation. We got each other's backs, right? And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, guys. This has been another episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. This video is over, and I'm out.
This is for Cameron. 10 Cameron.